Hello everyone and welcome to another tutorial here on NoiseJunkies.net. In this tutorial, we'll take a look at how to create a cool glass prism maze kind of effect. Where you can see it goes. And this is just a compilation of what we're going to be creating. But this video, went through a process of After Effects with the light twitches and editing some clips because initially it was around 20 seconds. We'll just be learning in Cinema 4D how to create a cool path quickly and how to add a cool camera movement. And the material. There's nothing really complicated about it, but it's just a cool workflow that maybe some people don't think about. So let's jump into this basic tutorial quickly. I'll go to File, New, and it's very good that we're going to be using all the views this time. So right now, come to the linear spline and we'll start making the maze. So we'll click here and start making the walls like this, and then just build a path. So yeah, make them longer and use the squares as references. You can also just click on the spline again to bring it up like this. Now here we have a problem. We want to make it, only 3 squares wide, but this axis is kind of interfering. So you can go and filter and uncheck the axis, and that way you can just click and, make something more accurate a little bit. And then you finish it here. So now I have your path. It's not very complicated like the original project, but it's interesting, it's the same thing. And now you can click on Extrude NURBS and drag your spline into the Extrude NURBS. And now all I have to do is to increase the size, but it's not on the Z axis. It's on the Y axis. So you just increase it by, let's say, 200. And now I have the path, which is pretty cool. And now we can only work on the perspective view. Maybe we'll work on the camera movements a little bit later. You can also create a floor, and we'll just add a simple material to the floor. Let's make it a little bit reflective. Let's say 20%, and make the color, like a bluish, like this. Of course, we need to apply the material to the floor. Interesting. Okay, so now create a camera. Scene camera's camera. Good. And we'll start animating it. So first thing, I'll make the animation 270 seconds. And I think just, to keep things easily for us, let's click on auto keying so we don't have to be setting keyframes all the time. And go on filter axis again so we can move it easily. And now we rotate a little bit. And we can start going into it. So the first frame we will have to be in is this one here. And also use the front view to try to keep in a good position here in the floor. Then you set a keyframe and we'll go on frame 40 and we'll move ahead here. And move up a little bit too. So now on 80, 40 frames of difference, you also want to rotate your camera around like this and move it up a little bit. And then maybe rotate a little bit more, like this. Interesting. So that's the movement we have already. That's interesting. And now we frame 112. You also move up a little bit and rotate it so you face the challenge that way. You now go to 280 and move it up. Rotate it too. Very tedious maybe, but it's not that a big deal. One thing you can do to make it interesting is to come back to frame 0 and try to watch the animation to see the problems, or just appreciate it. So that's pretty cool. Well, we have a clear problem here. Okay, so we need to fix some problems here. From 200 to 280, we have a massive problem here. So on 200, let's rotate the camera like this and face it like this. And for some reason, there might be another keyframe here. So let's just make this smaller and try to dig in to see if there's any other keyframe, and there's no other keyframe. But it just goes there because of frame 240, so we'll delete it. And it's actually because of 280. So we'll also delete that. And we'll go to 240 again. Select, move it up, rotate it, and then I think that will correct this problem. Not exactly. It's creating a shortcut that we don't know why it's doing that, but it's doing it. So we need to fix it. And I'm not sure, but I think the way to fix it is, just kind of going to 220 and guessing the position where it will be. I don't want to get an express or expressions in Cinema 4D, so that just solved our problem, so that's good. Come here again. This is actually the end of the maze. So you can just create 440 just so you can give a little more time to look at the end of the maze. Like this. So let's test the animation as a whole again and try to see the problems that we face. I mean, this backup, can or cannot work. I find it kind of cool, but we can fix that too. By just deleting the keyframe and making sure it just goes straight. So that's where we had the problem. Let's see if we still have it. We don't. Fixed it. And yes, it's a complicated path, but it did it. The maze is completed. So now we have our animation. We can worry about lighting and texturing. I'll just create a light and place it on the top. We'll also create a material for the wall now. And I'll create a slightly pinkish tone, also with reflection of 30. And we'll apply it to the walls. But this is where we start to see the problems occurring. We also want to set the transparency to 70 maybe. So it's semi-transparent and you can see the walls behind it. We just have to work on the lighting now because the light is a little bit annoying right now. So we can duplicate the light and set it more to the beginning here. Maybe like this. Kind of the beginning point's brighter, and then we go and let's see how the scene is here. It is also brighter. Just bring it to full screen. Yes, so that works too, and you can see, we can test different angles to see how they look. Yeah, and we can see the beginning from here. So the cool experiment about the maze is really about being able to see the other walls and just have a vivid animation about it. And you can definitely enhance in After Effects with twitch and simple expressions like wiggle. Very simple things can definitely make a difference, but the raw part that cannot be done easily in After Effects can be done here in Cinema 4D, and it wasn't that hard. Maybe tedious sometimes, but hard, I doubt it. So that's it. That's how you can create a maze, texture, and animate it. Hope you guys have enjoyed this simple tut, and we'll see each other next time.